forensic science has come far, giving voice to the unspoken and tracing the faintest lines between truth and assumption. Today, we explore 3 thought-provoking cases that illuminate the evolving world of touch DNA, stories where it unraveled mysteries, brought long-awaited resolution, and at times, revealed the fragility of seemingly definitive evidence. A toilet paper roll as a key piece of evidence to solve a double murder? This seemingly ordinary item played a surprising role in cracking a heartbreaking case in 2009, where an elderly mother and her son lost their lives in their Akron, Ohio home. In July 2009, Akron police responded to a devastating crime scene. Inside the quiet Grna home lay the bodies of 43-year-old Alan Grna and his 85-year-old mother Juliana. Mr. Grna was found in the kitchen, his life ended by multiple blunt force injuries. Blood patterns suggested he was struck down and rendered defenseless as his attacker continued the assault. In the bedroom, Ms. Grna endured a similar fate, losing her life to repeated blows. The Grnas were known as private, quiet individuals who rarely had visitors. This only deepened the sense of shock and mystery surrounding their tragic demise. A week after the incident, Akron police identified a suspect, Johnny Cook. Though Cook denied ever entering the Grna home, investigators uncovered troubling signs in the upstairs bathroom, a private space seldom used by anyone outside the family. Diluted blood stains were found on the sink, toilet, and soap dispenser, alongside blood-stained tissues in the trash and on the floor. As investigators dug deeper, Cook's actions after the incident raised further suspicion. He was seen pawning Ms. Grna's wedding ring and making purchases with newfound cash. Additionally, someone used Mr. Grna's cell phone to call Cook's mother's house shortly after the crime. Witnesses also reported that Cook appeared nervous and had blood on his shirt during this time. He was later spotted driving the Grna's stolen car, which was eventually linked to a hit-and-run collision. To strengthen their case, Akron police sought advanced forensic analysis from the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI. The investigation took a critical step forward when BCI agents speculated that the perpetrator, in attempting to clean up, had likely used the bathroom and handled the toilet paper roll. This overlooked household item now held the potential to reveal critical evidence. Although an unconventional approach at the time, forensic experts decided to swab the inside of the roll for DNA. With careful precision, they collected samples, hoping to uncover touch DNA, tiny skin cells left behind that could tell a story of their own. The touch DNA results yielded 3 profiles: Alan's, Juliana's, and a third, Johnny Cook's. This critical evidence placed Cook inside the Grna home, directly contradicting his denial. With a match probability of 1 in 70 million, the DNA on the toilet paper roll became the strongest link to the crime, marking a groundbreaking moment in touch DNA analysis. Combined with circumstantial evidence, the DNA evidence sealed the case. Cook was ultimately convicted, bringing resolution to this tragic story. This case showcases the power of forensic science to reveal hidden truths from even the most mundane objects. Over a decade ago, touch DNA analysis was still an emerging tool, used selectively in complex cases like the Grna murders. Its application here highlighted its remarkable potential and set a precedent for its use in solving violent crimes. Fast forward to 2024, and touch DNA analysis has become a routine part of forensic investigations, once again proving its worth by solving the long-unsolved murder of Rose Hnath. How does a brutal 1989 murder finally find justice after 35 years? A widow, a ransacked home, and weapons left behind, but no answers for decades. Through perseverance and advancements in touch DNA technology, crucial evidence became the key to solving the long-standing mystery and bringing justice for Rose Hnath in 2024. In January 1989, 78-year-old Rose Hnath was found violently killed in her home in North Whitehall Township, Pennsylvania. A widow who lived alone, Rose was known for her deep devotion to her church and her family. When she failed to appear at Sunday service, concerned relatives went to check on her and discovered a devastating scene. Her home had been ransacked, and she was found lifeless on the floor, bearing clear signs of a violent struggle. An autopsy revealed that Ms. Hnath had suffered multiple blunt force injuries and stab wounds. Defensive wounds on her body told the story of a fierce struggle for her life. Investigators recovered several pieces of evidence, including a knife and a pellet gun, believed to be the murder weapons. Despite their diligence, the case went cold as the technologies of the time were unable to extract the crucial clues hidden in the evidence. For more than 30 years, those who loved Rose lived without answers. However, the case took a dramatic turn. Evidence meticulously preserved since 1989, including the knife and pellet gun, was re-examined using advanced forensic methods, including touch DNA analysis. Against all odds, investigators successfully extracted a DNA profile from the weapons. In 2024, the results identified a suspect, Michael Breisch, who was 30 years old at the time of the crime and residing in a nearby community corrections facility. Breisch, now 65, was arrested in Ohio and extradited to Pennsylvania, where he faced charges of homicide, burglary, and aggravated assault. The evidence, carefully preserved by investigators who couldn't have foreseen the future potential of touch DNA, became the key to solving the case. For those who loved Rose, the arrest brought long-awaited relief and closure to unanswered questions that had haunted them for decades. While the exact forensic process remains undisclosed due to a sealed affidavit, investigators credited advancements in forensic technology with solving this decades-old case. At a press conference, the district attorney repeatedly emphasized the role of cutting-edge methods in cracking the investigation.
But in this case, it's the ability to take DNA that was not available. The testing, the technology was not available then, but it's available now.
This suggests that techniques such as investigative genetic genealogy, IgG, may have played a pivotal role in identifying Michael Breisch. Alternatively, his DNA may have been entered into a criminal database during his time in a corrections facility, or following other charges, and could have provided the match. This case exemplifies how modern forensic science blends innovative and traditional approaches to achieve justice, even in the most long unsolved cases. Decades after Ms. Hnath's tragic death, technology unlocked the truth, proving that justice delayed is not always justice denied. In our final story, we turn to a cautionary tale, a powerful reminder of the complexities and challenges in interpreting touch DNA. Imagine being accused of murder based solely on DNA evidence, while lying unconscious in a hospital bed miles away from the crime scene. For Lukis Anderson, this unimaginable nightmare became his reality in 2012 when his DNA was inexplicably discovered at the scene of a brutal home invasion. In the affluent community of Monte Sereno, California, tragedy struck when millionaire Ravish Kumra was murdered during a violent robbery. Intruders bound and gagged him with duct tape, leaving him to suffocate. His ex-wife, Harinder, who shared the Monte Sereno home with him, was also attacked but survived, managing to call for help after the assailants fled with cash, jewelry, and valuables. Amid the chaos, forensic investigators found a crucial clue, a mixture of DNA under Mr. Kumra's fingernails. The analysis revealed a profile that matched Lukis Anderson, from nearby San Jose. Authorities swiftly arrested him, but he was bewildered. Could his troubled past have led him to commit a heinous act he couldn't remember? At the time of the crime, Lukis Anderson, a 26-year-old homeless man, was in a hospital miles away, unconscious and completely unaware of the tragedy unfolding. Earlier that evening, paramedics responded to a call reporting an intoxicated man at a market. Anderson, with a blood alcohol level of approximately 0.41, was deemed incapable of caring for himself and was transported to the hospital at 10:45 p.m., where he remained until the next morning. This ironclad alibi raised a disturbing question. How did his DNA end up at the crime scene? Anderson's attorney, Kelly Kulik, unraveled the mystery. Hospital records revealed he was heavily intoxicated and under constant medical supervision at the exact time of the murder. Further investigation uncovered an astonishing explanation. The paramedics who transported him earlier that night had later responded to the Kumra residence. Somehow, his DNA had transferred via the paramedics' equipment, finding its way onto the victim. Subsequent analysis identified the pulse oximeter used by the paramedics as the likely source of secondary DNA transfer. This tiny but critical device, used to measure blood oxygen levels, had been applied to Anderson's finger during his hospital transport and later to Mr. Kumra's finger at the crime scene. After months in jail, he was exonerated. During his incarceration, the true suspects were arrested and charged, shedding light on the tragic errors that had derailed his life. Secondary DNA transfer in crime scene contexts is rare, but in Mr. Anderson's case, an extraordinarily unusual chain of events falsely implicated him, leading to wrongful accusations and life-altering consequences. Adding to the complexity, the DNA evidence found on the victim was not from a single source but a mixture, further underscoring the difficulty of determining its origin and significance. This ambiguity highlights the critical need for corroborative evidence when relying on DNA results to build a case. His ordeal stands as a sobering reminder of the systemic risks of over-reliance on highly sensitive DNA testing, challenging the assumption of its infallibility. While forensic technology has advanced significantly since his case, the human element in analyzing and presenting forensic evidence remains crucial to ensuring justice. Through these stories, Touch DNA reveals both its promise and its peril. It holds memories of loss and hope, lessons of justice achieved, and reminders of the care required in its interpretation. If you're curious to dive deeper into the complexities of touch and transferred DNA in forensic and crime scene contexts, please check out this video. Please like and subscribe to WIM's Wonders, as we uncover the intricate layers of forensic discovery, where every touch, every trace, tells an untold story.